Hi, so today we're going to learn some techniques, articulation at the piano, certain ways to play the piano, and we're going to learn some of the terms used in music. So the first word we're going to learn is legato, and legato is a term used to describe when we play smoothly, where we join up our notes, like joined up handwriting. And the other term we're going to encounter is staccato, which is where we detach the notes or bounce them if you like. And staccato notes in music normally have a dot above them or below them. Okay, so we're going to begin. It's sort of like multitasking, so the guys here are going to find this maybe a little bit more difficult than the females. But something to practice away from the piano is the old children's sort of schoolyard game, where if you remember we have one hand going up and down and the other making the circles. So multitasking, we have one hand doing one thing, one hand doing something else. And then practice obviously doing that also the reverse side as well. So one going up and down and one making those circles. Okay, once you've mastered that, we're going to go over to the piano and show how to do it at the piano in terms of playing music. Okay, for our legato versus staccato exercise and technique, learn a new skill. We put our hands in C positions. So we have the right hand on middle C, up to G, and we have our left hand little finger on low C, also up to G. Okay, the notes don't really matter for this, it's all about learning the technique. So together we're going to play the hands from bottom and back down again in a sequence like that. And we're going to play them as we just did. That is known as legato, where we're joining the notes up like continuous or joined up handwriting. So it's a continuous sound. Okay, we're not really releasing one note until the next note is ready to go down. So there's no gaps in the sound. And this is, if you like, nearly the default natural way to play piano or play music in general. Okay, once we've mastered that, we're also going to now try to play staccato or detached notes. So it's like, writing letters where each letter is separate from the next letter, if you were writing in capitals, for instance. So in terms of music, we play a note and we detach each note. So it's not joined to the previous note. Okay, so we're doing that in both hands, just playing up our fingers. And playing back down. Now I'm showing you this in a flat fingered position so that you can see what I'm doing. When you're practicing at home, you'll more likely be in a curved position like this on the tips of your fingers, on like this part, rather than sitting flat as I do. It's just for illustration. And you may want at the beginning also, until you get the technique down or mastered, to exaggerate the movements so that you're sure of actually detaching or separating the notes. Okay, so let's just recap that. So we have legato, where we join our notes up. And then we have staccato, where we detach the notes. Okay, now when you've mastered that, now comes the fun bit. If you remember what I was showing on the sofa, the children's game of multitasking with the two hands doing different things at the same time, we're now going to try that on the piano. So we're going to play the left hand legato and the right hand staccato. So we're going to press down with the left and go up with the right, nearly like a seesaw, so down along with an up. So at the same time, then on to the next note, and the next note, the next, and back. Okay, so one hand playing staccato and the other hand playing legato. Now practice it very slowly at the start until you're absolutely sure that one hand remains static on the keys with the key dug in and the other is detaching. Okay, once you've got that, we reverse what we've just done, and we're going to make the left hand staccato along with the legato right hand. So the same sequence again, this time digging in with the right and up with the left. And again, exaggerate the movements if you need to. Okay? If you think about it in terms of weight, it's like if you were leaning against a wall and you push with one side more than you push with the other. Okay, so your weight is going from one side to the other. Okay, so let's just try that again. So left, detached with a legato right hand. Okay, and as I said at the beginning, you may want to go very slow just to make sure you've got this note staying down while the other releases. Okay, once you've mastered that, the next thing is to do them all in a looping sequence so that you can go from one type of playing, like legato in both hands, into staccato, and then alternating between the hands without having to stop. So legato in both hands, staccato in both hands, staccato left, staccato right. Okay, and with a lot of practice, it should eventually end up something like this.